Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kaplan Field. It's a Wednesday night showdown between the John Jay Bloodhounds and the Mount St. Mary Knights. Bob, it's been 2 weeks since we last called the game. It's been an eventful 2 weeks. What are we looking for in tonight's contest?
Wow, I'm very loud to start out here. Good evening, everybody. Wowzers. Not a whole lot of winning from either sides. I do not mean to throw shade. It's just the statistics. So definitely two hungry sides out here wanting to get a W. The MSMC Knights 1, 2, and 3. The John Jay Bloodhounds 1 and 6. So this is going to be a testy matchup, and may or may not be a lot of goal scoring tonight.
So, I mean, you mentioned the Bloodhounds 1 and 6, losers of 3 in a row, and also 1 and 4 on the road. If you're John Jay, just how are you looking to stop the skid you're on?
You know, I'm looking at junior forward from Auckland, New Zealand, Josh Klemus. I think it's just going to be feeding the kid up top. Big dude. Has scored 6 goals through 7 matches. That's a lot for those at home who don't know. So I think it's going to be feeding him, trying to snag a goal on the road as soon as you can, and parking the bus.
And of course, and it's a recurring theme, and a lot of the games we do, Bob, simply just get the ball in the hands of your playmaker and get out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you have someone as good as Klemus and he can score goals at such a high rate, then, I mean, might as well, right? Feed the hot hand, as they say in basketball.
So, I mean, again, and to reiterate what you were just talking about, the Knights haven't been doing a whole lot of winning, but they also haven't been doing a whole lot of losing. The Knights, fittingly, come into today at 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, not a whole lot of goals given up. Mr. Noah Horn with a 727 save percentage through, what's this been, 6 games played. So very good save percentage from the senior here. Love to see it. Doesn't seem to be a high output offense from the Knights, but definitely a we won't let you score defense.
Well, and I mean, I know the game we did, the one 2 weeks ago, SUNY Delhi. I mean, the Knights, of course, led for 80 minutes of that one before that tying goal was conceded. I mean, the Knights just need to get over the hump, really.
Yeah, absolutely. They just got to let the metaphorical volcano explode, as to say, as we're off here.
And so the freshman, Alex Napoli, sends it away. Bob, it's time to party. It did rain a lot earlier today, so I mean, I'm not sure if the viewer can tell from the sights and sounds. It is still pretty wet out, but the sky itself has cleared up. So, Bob, it should be a beautiful night for some soccer.
Yeah, absolutely. I was worried it was going to rain. Thank God it didn't. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Should be a pretty calm match.
Bob and I are both comfortably under a tent. There are still plenty of clouds in the sky, but none of them look particularly menacing. So that one's sent well downfield. Getting ahead on it is Dale Allison, losing the ball. Here come the Bloodhounds, trying to form any sort of offensive attack. Leaves it for TJ Mark, the freshman, along the near sideline. Mark up ahead for Mazzarelli. It's Mazzarelli with the captain's band, along with him and Sam Bavino and Quinn Tynan, the 3 of them. Mazzarelli works it towards the end line, tries to work it back towards the middle, hits a body in front, will end up out of play.
That's a great sign for the Knights are early, getting a ball in behind, letting Mazzarelli go to work. He hasn't scored recently, but he does lead the team with the most goals scored on the roster.
Hasn't scored recently and still leading the team in goals scored. I mean, that's just a testament to who the playmakers are on this team.
Yeah, absolutely. As there's crossed arms coming from the corner kick take here. We're definitely going to see something creative here.
So TJ Mark to send it away. Loose in front. A Bloodhound gets a head on it, giving chase is Ryan Keyser. And ladies and gentlemen, if you'll remember, the last time Bob and I called the soccer game, there was quite an impressive corner kick goal.
Yeah, absolutely. An Olympico from senior J.C. Gutierrez, just a wonderfully hit ball that just trickled into the top post there. I mean, top bins, as the kids say back home.
Gutierrez not in the starting 11 tonight. Quentin Tynan along the throw-in, the far sideline, out near the tennis courts, leaves it short for Ethan Wallace. Wallace loses it, gets it back. The Bloodhounds looking to turn some defense into offense, clear the ball, but can't maintain possession now. Here's Keyser. Keyser for Hughes. Hughes, as the Knights try to work it into their attacking third. Hughes leaves it for Mark. Mark trying to get around the defender. Can't, leaves it back deep for Keyser. Keyser with the step, guarded tightly. That's number 22, Eden Chavzadi. That one goes into the seats up near the booth.
I thought that was coming away for a second.
I got excited. I mean,
I did too.
That's the dream. As you know, you've seen countless clips of baseball broadcasters. They have a foul ball hit into the booth, and they'll call their own highlight.
I just got a notification from an anonymous source. Your mic isn't on. They're not getting sound from you.
That's quite interesting.
But
I don't know how we fix that. Did it work?
Currently hear you.
Hello. Anybody? Anybody?
I think you muted something by
Anybody?
accident.
Oh,
all right.
no.
We're back in
Oh,
though.
no.
All right. I do have a play-by-play guy next to me. Sorry, everyone. Welcome back in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have technical difficulties in the booth have been resolved. Unfortunately, I do not have a mute button. I'm here. My catchphrase, it's time to party. I said that. I said everything. I gave a whole spiel. I mean, I don't want to have to start from scratch. I can't believe the mic wasn't on. What is happening?
I wasn't sure if it was something with the mix, but I didn't think something sounded right. But
I knew something was right because I was talking to you and you said you could hear me. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we figured it out. Bob and I are, I mean, technically we're technology by trade, given we're digital media production majors. So, I mean, I can't really use that excuse.
We figured it out quick enough, at least. At least we have the expertise to understand how to fix it.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to party. I mean, the Mount St. Mary Knights come to this game at 1, 2, and 3. I'm trying to remember all the stuff I said because I said a good, we're 41 minutes and counting down. We're a good 5 minutes into the contest, and I'm just now getting my first words in.
I definitely reciprocated most of what you've said so far, so I don't think the fans are too lost in what we got going on.
Oh, no, for sure. My sincerest apologies. I know you and I have a devoted audience.
Oh, of course, and very large shout-out to the source that alerted me.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody probably alerted me. Actually, nobody alerted me. I'm just not as popular as you are.
That's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah. Whoops. So anyway, back to soccer. The technical difficulties have since been resolved.
And just a stroke about 5 minutes into this matchup. Nothing too crazy just yet, Lucas.
No, of course not. Thankfully, because as here's Chavzadi working it. Keyser playing some tight defense. Keyser got his arms wrapped around him. The referees, of course, don't say anything. Leaves it back deep. The Bloodhounds are going to try and start from scratch. They're going to go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Davio Rosolevin, the Frenchman, Bob.
That's pretty cool. That is really, really cool.
Because there's some international talent on this John Jay team. I mean, we've mentioned Rosolevin. We've mentioned Chavzadi from France and Israel, respectively. From Guyana is Keon Boyce, a freshman defender. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel like every team we play is a man from Liberia, Sekou Sheriff. From Liberia.
Liberia, that's impressive. And Rossi Levin from Soucy-en-Brie, I think. I might be completely wrong. Very, very cool town/city name, though.
As Bevino tried to get it to Hughes, that pass deflected by Charlie Metz. So Metz plays nice defense, but the Knights able to come away with the ball. So the Bloodhounds all the way from scratch. It'll go back to Rosolevin. Rosolevin low line drive that'll land around towards midfield, catches a body. Still loose in front. The Bloodhounds trying to come away with possession. Can't. Good defense there from Wallace. The referee takes exception to something, blows the whistle. It's going the other way.
Quick stoppage of some sort of clock. Referee has alerted. I think someone lost a shin pad here. Or the clock was supposed to be stopped. He's crossing his arms. There we go.
So not too much action to report. On the Knights have had a corner kick, which I'm pretty sure I was muted for now. So 39:01, the clock has stopped, Bob, as you mentioned. No shots on goal for either side yet. The Knights have had, I'd say the Knights are controlling the time of possession. That's just my estimate. I mean, 6 minutes into the contest, it's not really something you're watching for yet, as that ball is launched. Horn, fair catch, nicely done. That's Daniel Manser out of Staten Island, just showing off a bit there.
Yeah, that was a nuke from the midway line, just in between the SN and the M on the logo. That was a bomb.
Hughes for Wallace. Wallace tries to deflect the pass, just directs it off course. Bloodhounds pick it up. Here's Bevino, guarded tightly by Josh Kleemis. The aforementioned Josh Kleemis, the New Zealand talent, 6 goals in 7 games. And Bob, I'm no statistician, but that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is a whole lot of goals in a lot of games, and that's not an easy thing to do for those back home who don't fully grasp soccer scoring and how soccer shakes out.
Hughes, the throw-in deflected by somebody behind this tent in front of us. As we mentioned, it was a pretty rainy afternoon, so they set up the game with that in mind. And then naturally, the weather is now perfect.
Oh, of course, but better than risking it, right?
The ball finds its way to Horn. Horn knocks it down, gets it out of harm's way. So Horn has yet to face any real challenges, but the Bloodhounds have come just knocking on the door once or twice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're definitely feeling out the contest through the midfield here as a ball is beamed up by Bevino.
Bevino, a missile, but no Knight there to corral it. So it plays pinball a little bit. The Bloodhounds ultimately come away with it. Here's Metz. Metz along the near sideline. Leaves it low. Good defense there from Bevavino. Bevavino along the near sideline. Leaves it for Mark. That one ends up out of play.
And I think you'll see a lot of holding play by the navy blue jerseys, of course, as the left side of your screen, and the darker jerseys is John Jay. White on the right side of your screen is the Mount. See a lot of navy blue jerseys clipping balls up top and hard hit ones on the ground to try and find De Jesus and Klimas making runs through the right side channel.
So John Jay just, I'd say, I mean, I'm sure you agreed, and much to your point, I mean, John Jay is just getting a feel for things, I feel, just laying out the groundwork. I mean, there's still a lot of soccer left. We're just over 8 full minutes into contest. Ross 11. Mazzarelli comes in to check on him. Ross 11 will just pick it up and go to the other side of the goalie box. Successfully gets rid of it. So the Bloodhounds are certainly taking their time with how they want to move the ball. Bounces around a little bit in front. Here's Keyser. Keyser able to play, take advantage of a Bloodhound mistake. Good ground ball. Mazzarelli knocks it down, deflects it, leaves it for Tynan.
Very clean play coming out of the midfield here for the Knights. So I stumble on my words there.
Tynan pass intended for Mark over his head. Hughes nicely done on the pickup. Hughes centering pass towards the middle. Mazzarelli almost got a head on it. That'll head towards the far sideline. Tynan cuts it off before it gets out of bounds. Sebastian Belinsky sends it in, takes a bounce under the feet of Wallace. Mazzarelli gets it, tries to create any sort of separation, comes away with the ball, can't get room. Tynan sends that one towards the middle. Here's Hughes unattended, gets a head on it. Gets a head on somebody in front. It's still loose. That one shut just wide. Ethan Wallace just missed it.
Ooh.
And what a crazy sequence that was. There's Liam Hughes got a head on it, and then a Bloodhound got a head on it. It hit the crossbar, fell into the lap of Ethan Wallace, and Wallace pushes that one just left, and we remain scoreless.
Oh, man, that was almost a really, really good build-up play there from the Mount. Hoffman from way outside cracked a laser beam in the back post. Hughes popped it down, and Wallace just barely got it. Just barely got it wrong. You'd love to see that early on, though, from the Knights.
And then again, the Knights have had a few, I don't want to say solid opportunities, but again, early into the game, we're not stressing about this yet. But there hasn't been a concrete goal-scoring opportunity, and that's the closest it's been so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do see something starting to form here for the Knights as John Jay tries to shank one forward, redirect one forward.
Good effort there from the freshman Sebastian Belinsky just to send that one out of play. That one headed towards the seats. One lucky fan, if a ball goes into the seats, they'll come home with a brand new bright green soccer ball.
That will be quickly reclaimed by a ball boy wandering around the sidelines.
Just hide it immediately after you get it.
If I was spectating a Mount match and a ball ricocheted out of bounds and I caught it, I am immediately leaving with said ball.
Yeah,
and it's sitting in my dorm room.
They're
not getting it back.
You told that story like you've already done that. Like
Yeah,
this,
no,
like
right?
this, that's crazy.
I haven't, no.
Okay. Because the thing is, these live streams are saved. So
Yeah, no, I have not done that.
we'll find out.
I've taken a lot of tennis balls and lacrosse balls that lay around in the sod field.
Interesting.
Just because I passed by and I'm like, oh, cool.
On a completely unrelated note, what's the phone number for security here?
I actually have no idea. You going to report me now?
Yeah.
You fed?
Ross 11 to send it away. Still 0-0. Both sides, I think, just now finding their footing. The Knights have played good defense. Both sides trying to find their stride on offense.
Absolutely. And early on here, I'm noticing John Jay trying to play a slower counterattacking style, but I could be totally incorrect.
That pass bounces around a little bit. Could have been an opportunity. Wallace tried to get it to Napoli, and it just deflected off a Bloodhound. And for whatever reason, that carried really hard.
That did, yeah, absolutely. I apologize. Our cameraman dropped his phone on my right side. I just heard it.
Yeah.
Had to make sure it wasn't cracked. You'll see a lot of, with a wet turf today, you're going to see a lot of balls rolling quickly and a lot of balls taking weird bounces, for sure.
And that's something I've noticed. I mean, both sides, actually, are just trying to keep a lot of their passes low to the ground because of that wet turf here. They're trying to generate any sort of weird bounce, bad hop they can get to go their way. Bevino, good job cutting that ball off. Leaves it for Hughes. I thought that one was headed out of bounds. Sliding effort from Wallace. The Knights can't corral it, but it does at least give the Knights some time. Brian let's see here. Let's consult my Quatiankis. That is a name, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, that is impressive.
Here's Keyser. Keyser will send that on all the way back down for Horn. Horn in his all-red goalie getup.
Do you like that all red? That's nice. With the white sleeves. It's cool looking.
So is the idea for a goalie kit, is that just to be a color that is not your color scheme? Because, I mean, John Jay's goalie is an orange.
Yeah, usually you do something. It's like liberos in volleyball. It's just to be able to pick them out easier.
At ball watch for Tynan, we have a whistle, a stoppage, and it'll go the way of the Bloodhounds.
And unfortunately, they got away from cool designs back in, like, I think the 80s and 90s. They used to... Have you ever seen those, like, goofy-looking high school shirts, like old high school shirts that have, like, flames on the sleeves and stuff?
If I was a goalie, I'd want to look like the floor of a bowling alley.
Yeah, they used to have insane designs, and it was really, really cool. And now they've just gone into solid colors, which is kind of unfortunate, actually.
Bob, I think we might have to make that happen. And now here's Mark with a step. Mark, that pass intended for Mazzarelli, quickly blocked. Wearing it off the chest, that's Josh Klimas. Klimas, of course, we've talked about the offensive force he's been. 14 minutes into the game. I mean, obviously still early. I'm going to keep hammering that. But Klimas hasn't been too involved.
Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of a messy style of play here. Not to glaze too hard, but he's being glued to this right-hand touch line, and it just seems to be he's waiting for balls to come his way that he can make plays on.
Now here's Allison waiting for decision. Low line drive. Too far ahead of anybody. Belinsky and Mazzarelli were in the area. That pass just much too strong for either of them to catch up to.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
So we are coming to a stroke about 15 minutes in. Again, a lot of holding midfield play here.
Quantianquis sends it downfield. Bevavino for Tynan. Tynan has that one pickpocketed. The Bloodhounds. Here's Shavzadi. That one's still loose. Belinsky will just leave it for Horn. Horn returns that one to center. That ball has a little bit of a curve on it. Quickly knocked down by Metz. Metz leaves it out of play. Here's Hughes on the throw-in. Hughes sends it away for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli plays it off a bounce. Quickly swarmed by two Bloodhounds. Mazzarelli will leave it for Bevavino, and we have a whistle.
A little bit of a shove here from...
Whistle on Helmer Herrera, freshman midfielder from Montrose, New York.
He'll get a talking to by the neon shirt in the middle.
So Herrera plead his case, just a slap on the wrist for both sides. Noah Horn is currently getting his shoes tied on the far right of your screen.
Can't do much in those goalie gloves. Those are very, very thick fingers.
The shoes have been tied, and we are ready for more soccer. 30-15 and counting down. Bevavino leaves it for Keyser as the Knights will try and set up some offense along the far sideline. Bevavino to Hughes, and now the Knights will try to work some offense on the near sideline. Hughes working along the sideline. That one might have been out of bounds. No whistle. Here's Mark. Mark leaves it for Mazzarelli. A lot of Bloodhounds in the area. It's currently, feels like a 1-on-4. Mazzarelli working alone, just trying to buy himself any sort of separation. Leaves it for Bevavino. Bevavino upfield for Keyser.
Being listed as a forward today, I've been very impressed by Mazzarelli's willingness to come back into the midfield so frequently to be able to play that ball, to try and find that extra pass.
I mean, of course, no matter where you put Mazzarelli, he'll always be a guy the Knights try and find. That's just what comes with being an older guy. That's what comes with being a captain. He's just a focal point of the offense. Yeah,
so he played a much heavier midfield role in his earlier years when I remember watching him in person here. A few times we were good friends when he used to be on the esports team with MSMC. No longer, unfortunately, but he has slowly transitioned to more of a forward role.
Beautiful pass up ahead for Hughes in pursuit. Keeps it in, prevents it from going out along the end line. Leaves it for Mark. Mark, pass on the ground. That one quickly sent up and out of play over that fence.
And consumed by the wall.
So even though Mazzarelli isn't on the esports team, though, the esports team is back, correct?
Yes, we are, yes. We have been recently re-registered as a club, and hopefully we'll be doing some sort of competitive gaming soon.
Excellent.
Anyone watching at home that's a student of the school, we are looking for players casual and competitive.
Tynan leaves it for Belinsky along the far sideline. If I was any good at video games, I would be your guy, but I would be lying. Unless there's an esports team for Red Dead Redemption, I'm not the guy.
We could probably get it set up on the computers there. We are technically a club now, so we're looking to transition towards just having more like casual days for people to just come by and play games.
Good to know. That one towards the box. That one loose in front. That one catches a body. Bloodhound just gets it away before Ross 11 got a foot on it. Interesting call there, so perhaps some miscommunication. All's well that ends well. But Bob, that was interesting. I mean, Ross 11 had a clear play on it and clearly had his hands out, outstretched arms. And perhaps in some sort of miscommunication or just panic, the ball was kicked out. by a Bloodhound.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a sign of a rush defense. So that's definitely a good sign for the Mount that they're putting enough pressure on John Jay to be making panic moves like that early on in the half.
And so both sides, the game so far feels like a chess match where only the pawns have been moved. So I mean, you can tell there are bigger things to come here, but a slow start, at least offensively for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of a Queen's Gambit being set up here, slower play style from both sides, and you have to wonder when the first knight is going to be taken. Get
Hopefully,
a little bit of chess knowledge in there.
Just got to flex. Hopefully it's not our knight that gets taken out, given we are the knights.
True.
Mazzarelli, beautiful pass for Hughes. Hughes gets a bounty on it. Can't quite corral it. And so, I mean, the defense has been really good, but I think just both sides, it's a matter of who finds their footing on offense first. Most
certainly, and it seems to be the Mount is pressing much harder here, but I think John Jay is definitely lying in wait to see if they can grab themselves a counterattack for an imbalance in strikers to defenders.
Of course, I mean, John Jay has, lax is not the right word, and you had alluded to this earlier, but they do seem slow in their pursuit of getting a game plan off the ground.
Yeah, 100%, and I don't know if it's just a little bit of lag off the bus or if this is their specific game plan to try and take it slow here, but they're certainly not trying to press the issue. Not a lot of heavy pressing coming out from the Bloodhounds.
So Ross 11 will leave it for Quantian Keys. Keyser wears that off the head. Tynan bodies it up with his knee, leaves it on the ground. Tynan with a step. Tynan tries to get it to Mark, does so. Mark now with a step. Good sliding effort there from Daniel Manser to at least poke it away, but the Knights maintain control. Here's Mark. Mark putting the moves on Metz. Metz with a pickpocket. And that's the best play by a Mets player all week.
A wonderful, wonderful reference. That makes me very happy.
Really, that's the best play a Mets player has made in the last 2 months. I mean, what happened to the New York Mets?
Free fall, baby.
If you couldn't tell, Bob is a devoted Phillies fan, so he takes some revel in the Mets' struggles.
East champions 2 years in a row. What do you know?
It's shaping up to be an interesting postseason. We have a little in the action as Manser set the free kick.
Indubitably.
Should be fun. I mean, we're nearing fall. We're nearing October. And October, I think, is the best time of the year for sports. Because from, like, the last 2 weeks on, there's just sport. There's every sport on every day. It's amazing. Playoff baseball, the NHL and the NBA come back. The NFL's in full swing. That one rocketed towards the net. Good defensive effort there from Keyser. That one kicked straight up. It's still loose in front. The Knights have to get it out. They get it out of the goalie box, but they don't get it out of the Bloodhounds' zone. Or, sorry, their own end. And now here's Mark. Mark just has to get away. Does it. Here's Manser with a step. Pickpocketed here is Wallace. Wallace, good job there, taking the ball away, looking for the Knights, trying to set something up. Mark takes a hard fall. We have a whistle.
Oh, man, this is going to be a dangerous spot here, Lucas. Just a little bit of too much of a shoulder from a navy blue jersey there. Going to give the Knights a free kick from about 25 yards out.
So, yeah, free kick from just outside the box. So, Bob, if you're the Knights, do you go for the net or do you draw something up?
If I was the coach, I would go for the net. But in a game this early, I think you're just going to clip a ball into the back post to try and find a head or a foot.
Because, I mean, here you're just outside the box, probably about, 15, 20 feet or so. I mean, you just have to send it away. Like, I mean, you're close enough to take a shot if you wanted to.
Certainly, and with a wet turf here, you could, Tynan might be keen to try and hit a hard ground ball bouncing off of the slightly wet turf.
Tynan to kick it. Great wall of Bloodhounds in front of him. Tynan sends that one just high over the net. And we stay scoreless. So, Bob, that answers that question. The Knights go for broke. That one just high.
Of course, and certainly had the movement, just didn't have the placement, and it's a little bit distressing when you lose a free kick that quickly, but of course there's always the 1 out of 100th chance where you're going to put that in the net and you're up 1-0. So it doesn't bother me to go for net there this early on.
No, of course not. I mean, in a game where the offenses have started slow, I mean, why not try and make a splash? I mean, the other guys haven't done much either. You know, why not try and throw the first punch?
Yeah, absolutely. And you hear it in American football frequently that you got to find something to get yourself juiced up as the ball's played forward here. Clipped a little bit too far. But you got to find something to get yourself fired up, get yourself juiced up. So I think in this scenario, someone's got to step up and get the boys going.
So Ross 11 will set up in his office. Low line drive just past midfield. Klamus and Keyser both jump for it. It'll be Klamus that comes away with it. Tries to get it to Metz. And out of play. It'll go the way of the Knights. 22:45 and counting down. So we are over 20 minutes into the contest. No shots on goal for either side. Quantian Keys leaves it for Manser. Manser kicks it along the near sideline. Nobody in possession of it yet. The ball right behind his white tent that is conveniently placed right where I'm trying to look. It's Wallace in pursuit of the ball. Mazzarelli guarding Herrera. Mazzarelli hands up, avoiding a whistle. Good call. Ross 11 comes out, takes out the trash. And so, Bob, I am impressed while we have now a stoppage as a bloodhound is shaken up. I believe that is number 29, Jason Ayala. He's up, but he's hobbling. We hope he's all right.
The director is called cut, and he will resume his position.
He's all right. Or at least to the naked eye, he appears all right. So, of course, good news to us here in the broadcast.
I'm just being a bit of a homer here, of course. Never want anyone to be seriously injured.
No, of course. So what I was going to say, freshman Ethan Wallace getting the nod tonight to be in the starting 11. He has played quite well. I found, you said his name a lot. I found him to be, oh my goodness, that ball was launched.
That went past the flagpole. That was a nuke.
The only park that one doesn't get out of is Yellowstone. That ball was launched.
Wow.
I'm not sure what the game plan was there.
Might have just mishit it a little bit.
But an impressive warning shot. That ball ends up in Connecticut. Still nothing.
In Connecticut. Oh, jeez. Crazy stuff.
So back to Ethan Wallace. He's played quite well. I found him to be in the attacking third. He's always around the ball and always making plays before I was rudely interrupted by the shot heard around the world. I'm honestly not sure what the strategy behind that was. If there was one.
I missed a little bit of the play, but if they were trying to take a volley, they might have just mishit it. Sometimes you hit the ball hard enough to where you don't roll your foot correctly. You don't get on top of it to get that top spin, and you just end up booting it about 60 yards over the fence. So it happens.
So that kick would have been good from 65 yards, and other than being an impressive display of strength, nothing comes of it. Still nothing.
Jets might be calling his number soon.
The Jets need to call everyone's number.
Yeah, they do.
Here's Mark.
And your point earlier, TJ Mark has had an impressive night for himself as well.
A lot of freshmen in the starting 11. I mean, no Gutierrez. Jeremy Burgos is also not. We also haven't seen anything from him. But 4 freshmen, I believe, in the starting lineup. Sebastian Belinsky on defense. TJ Mark as midfield. Alex Napoli all at forward/midfield. And Ethan Wallace on defense. So 4 of Mount St. Mary's starting 11 are first years, and they've all played quite well.
Certainly.
Mark.
Balls booted away. Apologies.
Manser for teammate. Tynan sliding tackle there from Herrera. The referee deems it legal.
Caught enough ball there for it to be inconsequential.
So under 20 minutes to play here. 45 divided by 2 is 22 and a half. Okay, so we are over halfway through, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, no, my math is right. Yeah, because it'd be 22 and a half minutes is the halfway point.
Yep.
Mom, I promise my college education is going swimmingly.
Hey, we're sitting here, right?
We did something right. Something along the way. Here's Bevavino, leaves it for that's Allison up along the far sideline. Allison for Tynan. Tynan works that one past midfield, has a step, sends that one up ahead. It's Mark giving chase. Mark corrals it. Can he get a shot off? No, he can't. Solid defensive effort there, and that hit Metz in front.
Yes, that was booted out. Again, signs of a rush defense. I wouldn't dare say inexperienced, but that ball could have been easily corralled by the goalkeeper here, and they just booted it straight out of the back for a corner kick.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, that's the second time today. I mean, Ross 11, by all means, had that one wrapped up. I mean, Brian Quantianki's, likely just trying to get it out just in case. He rifles it out of play, but it goes off a teammate, so the Knights got a corner kick out of it. Mazzarelli off the head, goes bar down. Alice Bevavino puts it in! And it's 1-0.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful corner kick. Looped in real deep to the back post. Mazzarelli went bar down. I thought that was about to fall in. Bevavino was there to just hammer it home. You love to see the senior captain hammer one into the nylon.
So the captain connection. Mazzarelli goes off the crossbar, and Bevavino puts the biscuit in the basket. And Bob, so far, that's the difference maker. 1-0 Mount St. Mary.
And Bevavino's first goal of the year, so shout out to the senior Bevavino. An acquaintance of mine, a very good lad. Love to see the senior getting home for a tally.
So the Knights, they're the team that breaks through first, 1-0 Mount. And now, 18-12, plenty of time left to play. You try and tack on to that.
100%. I don't think there's been any hints that you need to park the bus here. I think you can just continue to press and play normally through these remaining 20 minutes.
And now for John Jay, the Knights have drawn first blood. Now I think you have to find any sort of way to get the offense going. I know we've talked about them taking perhaps a slower approach and getting a feel for the offense, but now, time is a luxury. And, now you're down one. Now you have to think of something and think of something fast. And now here's Klamis with a step, guarded tightly by Keyser. Klamis looking to get around. Centering pass goes off Hughes. And I believe this will be a corner kick for the Bloodhounds.
Then they call a goal kick here. I think Klamis dribbled just a tad far. I think it rolled over the white. And Horn will get himself a goal kick.
Okay, so the ball went out of play before deflecting off Hughes and out of play apparently a second time. So now here's Horn to get rid of it.
Just mildly difficult to see from our angle.
Of course. 17-23 counting down.
Of course, we have a 10 and a tripod in front of us looking at the far right end. So it's slightly difficult.
And of course, as we mentioned earlier, it was rainy. So, whoever was setting it up graciously took into consideration that it might be raining. But now that it's not raining, it does look a little peculiar. Now here's Horn. That's Ian Shavzadi just getting in Horn's kitchen a little bit, letting him know that he's thinking about him. Sends that one off the head of Daniel Manser. Now here's Mazzarelli with room to work. Mazzarelli does it all himself, just tries to create separation, gets it to Bevavino. Bevavino for Keyser. Keyser will leave it for Allison. Allison for Bevavino. So the Bloodhounds not pressing, so the Knights defensive unit just taking a little bit of time, trying to figure out what they want to do with the ball. Here's Allison, back to Bevavino. Reminiscent of a ping pong match.
Just a slight bit.
Now here's Keyser, works that one past midfield. Not being face guarded. Here's Mazzarelli, now being face guarded by Metz. Mazzarelli loses the ball, but the Knights will retain possession. Mazzarelli to throw it in.
Oh.
The throw-in doesn't count, and here come the first wave of subs. On for the Knights, J.C. Gutierrez, Cam Welsh, and Jack Hoffman. So they come on in relief of three of the freshmen. Coming off are T.J. Mark, Sebastian Belinsky, and I'm trying to see him. The tent is rudely in the way. So now the Knights, with three sets of fresh legs, looking to tack on one more before the half.
See what they lab up here in the later stages of this first chunk of play.
So 15-20. If you're the Knights, you're 1 for 2 on shots on goal, which is perfect, and you've also played stellar defense.
Truly have, and have nothing but good things to say about the first half, so I think you can just keep working on exactly what you're working on and just see what comes of it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's Tynan, leaves one on the ground. Manser gets a foot on it, gets it to Shavzadi. And now here come the Bloodhounds with a little bit of room to run. Leaves that one low, but Horn wraps it up. There's nobody home. So the Bloodhounds just tough time stringing anything together so far.
Yeah, definitely nothing dangerous coming from the Bloodhounds yet, and I have to wonder if the metaphorical Bloodhounds are smelling blood in the water, blood in the air, but it doesn't seem to be so far. So we'll have to see what they come up with in this closing 15 minutes.
Unable to come up with it is Hoffman along the far sideline. They're both giving chase.
Whoa.
Hoffman, big hit, much to the delight of the Knights bench. There'll be a whistle, no serious penalty of any sort.
Hard foot race there on the right side. Hard. Stiff arm, Derrick Henry-esque.
Get off the tracks when the train is coming.
Don't stand on the tracks when the train's coming through, butthead.
So Hoffman runs somebody smooth over. Free kick for the Bloodhounds.
Oh, have you not seen the Major League 2?
No,
Oh,
I actually haven't.
that's where
I knew that was a reference to something.
Yeah, that's a quote from Major League 2. It's really funny, actually.
Fair enough. I mean, the first Major League is
Generational
a
movie.
classic.
Probably a lot of scenes and such that we cannot quote on air, but a great movie.
Oh, yeah, we can't quote 90% of the movie on the air. Just a Bit Outside is from Major League.
That's a classic. As the cars passing by agree with us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the roads are still a little slick, so everything is 10 times louder as it passes by. Metz to throw it in for the Bloodhounds. Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli looking just to play pickpocket. There's a stoppage as Alejandro De Jesus loses his footing. And it'll be a free kick for John Jay.
De Jesus is a pretty cool last name, too.
So now here's John Jay, free kick from the closest spot to the net so far. I mean, a little far, I think, just to take a shot directly, but it appears they're drawing some sort of play up.
Definitely offset from about 40 yards, maybe hint under that. They're going to try and clip one into middle of the box, most likely, on the penalty spot.
So the whistle blows. Shavzadi sends it away. Catches a deflection in front. Karam's out towards the right side of the net. Still in play. Good job from Welsh to get it out of harm's way. The Bloodhounds trying to come down with it. Ultimately, they can't. Here's Ross 11. Well out of his habitat. Tynan comes, checks on him. Ross 11 gets it away. Here's Shavzadi. Guarded tightly by Hughes. Shavzadi gets around. Takes a fall. A late whistle, but a whistle nonetheless. It'll be Jean Jay ball.
Strange not to play advantage there.
I mean, I feel like that was a late whistle. I mean, the whistle was called after he had fallen and gotten back up. I mean, he seemed prepared to play on.
Yeah, certainly. And John Jay maintained possession, so I don't really understand why there was a stoppage, but doesn't seem to be affecting the play terribly.
And another whistle, another stoppage, and the Bloodhounds will retain possession once more. So Jason Ayala takes a fall, and he is taking a beating.
Sure is. The Knights have been very physical on defense here, not letting much get by them. White jerseys are standing tall.
And so far, I mean, the strong arm tactic has worked. And now here's a free kick, pretty much from the same location on the field, just the opposite end. That one towards the middle, a sea of bodies in front. And it has the exact same result. It caroms off someone in front and goes out towards the right side of the box. Now here's Metz. Metz working it towards the corner, guarded by Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli takes his lunch money. Metz takes it right back. Metz outside of the box, sends that one towards the middle, bodied up by Shevzadi. Still loose in front. Klimas gets a head on it. We have a whistle.
Offsides called here on a Bloodhound jersey.
So the most productive Bloodhound possession to this point in the game ends in an offside, but John Jay are showing signs of life. Another whistle, just to make sure I'm sure it's kicked off from the appropriate area. Horn will leave it for Bevavino. So far, the game's lone goal scorer.
It seems to be John Jay is definitely comfortable playing out of those free kicks and set pieces, so I think the Mount has to be careful moving forward not to be giving those away in danger spots.
And here's Allison. I mean, and I suppose if that's the only grievance you have in a half, I think you can live with that. But I mean, no, you're right, because the last thing you want to do is have one of those come back to bite you eventually. As Hughes' impressive leaping effort stays on his feet. Now here's Welsh with a step, guarded by Shavzadi. That pass deflected at midfield, so the Bloodhounds are trying to make something work. They can't. Here's Tynan. Tynan leaves it for Welsh. Sorry, that's Wallace. To Gutierrez. Back to Wallace. For Keyser. Keyser for Bevavino. So the Bloodhounds not face guarding anyone this deep in their own, this deep in the Knights' own end. So I mean the Knights just being careful with the ball here. Here's Wallace with a step, some room to work. Gets now on the Bloodhound side of midfield. Tries to get it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez looks like he lost his footing. Couldn't corral it. Mazzarelli wears it off the head. Now here's Bevavino. Bevavino for Hughes along the near sideline. For Mazzarelli now. Mazzarelli, impressive effort there. Shavzadi sticks with him. So, I mean, the Bloodhounds, they've played solid enough defense, but, I mean, it is interesting. They haven't really been face guarding anyone.
Certainly not, and they're not giving any heavy pressures. It's a great run here into the box.
And here's Wallace, as you mentioned, Bob. Good job staying on his feet and maintaining possession. That one ends up out of play. The referee quickly on it. We have a whistle, and the Bloodhounds will make their first substitutions of the contest. Coming on, number 13, Ian Hardigan.
And the Bloodhounds certainly not heavily inclined to be pressing on the offensive third as frequently as other teams might. So you definitely still see hints of a slow midfield play with quick bursts over the top or through the lines where they can find space.
And coming off for John Jay, Alejandro de Jesus. That one's tossed in. Bounces around. Gutierrez settles it. Mazzarelli now comes out of nowhere, comes out of the wings to provide some assistance. That ball still bouncing around. Out of play now. The referees have yet to signal, and they're now pointing the way of the Bloodhounds. So 8 minutes, 25 seconds and counting down. Your score is still 1-0 Mount. Low kick intercepted by Hoffman. Hoffman leaves the deflection for Keyser. Keyser for Allison. Allison per Bevavino. Bevavino for Hughes. And so now we've talked about it constantly. I mean, the Bloodhounds not face guarding. And so in the light of the lax defense, the Knights are going with the 4-deep approach in the Bloodhounds attacking third. Deep in their end of the field. It's Hughes, Bevavino, Allison, and Wallace just playing catch with each other until somebody comes and sticks their nose in things.
Certainly, and the Knights seem very comfortable to chew up as many minutes as they can, just passing the ball around in the back lines here. Just trying to open up spots on the wings where they can let their wingers go to work and eat as much as they can.
No, of course. I mean, and it's not glitzy or glamorous by any means, but if you have a goal advantage and teams are just letting you take their time setting something up, I mean, you take full advantage of that.
100%, I agree. And the Knights are just chewing up as much as they can on the wing. John Jay just continues to give them real estate to go to work here and do almost, I wouldn't say anything they want, but a good bit.
So Welsh, guarded tightly by, I believe, Hardigan, takes exception to having his jersey yanked. The ball ends up out of play. I mean, there's no whistle. So no slap on the wrist for anyone, but the Knights will get to throw it in. Doing the honors is Hughes as the Knights look to get the ball into their attacking third. Long throw for Mazzarelli. That one deflected in front. Ross 11 comes down with it.
Some substitutions for the Knights. Number 2 freshman midfielder Matthew Marr and number 17 sophomore midfielder Richard Ostendorp.
So that's the 5th freshman now, I believe, to check into the game. The 4 starters and now Maher. So the Knights letting the young talent shine here early on.
Yeah, and sometimes when you have so many young sets of legs on a roster, you just have to let the kids play. And it seems to be so far, they're doing the running and the seniors are doing the finishing. So I think it's working out quite well.
It seems to be a nice system the Knights have set up. I mean, at least so far it has. Up 1-0 through almost 40 minutes of play now. Here's Welsh. Welsh had Tynan on the run, couldn't quite lead him.
Oh, wow.
Able to take it back, and so the Knights will be able to try it again. Here's Welsh now being face guarded, leaves it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, good effort, able to corral it. Now Mazzarelli with space, works around Metz, has that one deflected. It's Quatianquis. So that one ends up out behind the end line. Bloodhounds ball. Another substitution coming on for John Jay. Andrew Provenzano comes on in relief of Josh Klimas. So 5:42 left in the half, but a curious call not to leave your most prolific goal scorer on the field. 5.5 minutes to play.
Certainly, you might just want to give him a breather going in the second half. I guess you'll reconvene and try and go from there. There's 5 minutes here, and Coach Longnick here on the Knights side is very animated after that last possession there. I suppose he was not happy that ball was not played into the box.
I mean, of course, we talked about, this was a theme of the game we did 2 weeks ago. I mean, it feels like a game where one won't quite be enough. I mean, this one feels a little bit different, but the theme still applies. I mean, more often than not, one goal in any sporting event won't be enough.
Certainly, and when you hold an early lead, you definitely want to try and extend it, obviously. I mean, that's the very simple answer, but you never want to be giving up a late goal like what happened against Delhi, because you lose the 3 points you already earned from the win.
Hughes, an impressive effort to keep that one in bounds. Might have been out of bounds, but no referees in the vicinity. The Bloodhounds very upset. Now here's Gutierrez with room. Gutierrez gets around Ross 11. Impressive leg save there. Still loose in front. Maher tried to corral it. It's Mansur now. Mansur to Shafzadi. And so the Bloodhounds have at least gotten out of immediate danger. And, Bob, there aren't going to be many better chances than that.
Man, that was unbelievable. Gutierrez was in by himself. Nothing but the orange shirt to look at. And he tried to just chip one in with the outside of the foot. Tender read it. And it's just an unfortunate break for both sides.
So a kick save for the Frenchman, and it stays 1-0.
Very difficult break for the Knights not to bag that one. But, of course, no need to dogpile a guy taking a high a high percentage shot. I apologize. I was watching the throw in here. A high percentage shot. You're not going to score them all.
Tynan works that one around Metz.
Laser beam of a daisy cutter coming towards us.
The intended target, Welsh. Welsh can't corral it. Bob, as you mentioned, I mean, that ball was blistered.
I don't believe he hit that right. I think he was trying to get a side spin on it, and I think he just kind of crushed it just straight under the ball.
So my takeaway from today's game is if you hit a soccer ball, it will go as far as humanly possible.
Yeah, there's a lot of really weird stuff you can get soccer balls to do, especially if you don't hit it right. And more so than anything, it's more how your foot finishes, more than you'd think at least.
Ostendorp leaves it for Gutierrez, who gets it back to Ostendorp. Ostendorp guarded tightly. Ball pinballs off two other Bloodhounds before being corralled by Allison. Allison leaves it for Horn. And now the Bloodhounds starting to turn up the intensity a little bit. I mean, obviously not in any kind of press yet, as Hughes has some trouble with the pass. Out of play, Bloodhounds ball. And that's one thing you can't do if you're the Knights. I mean, we talked about the kind of 4-out defensive set they're in where the 4 defensemen just kind of pass the ball around until somebody comes and does something. But if you're being allowed that kind of room, I mean, there's no margin for error on those passes. I mean, that is a pass you can't mess up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't want to be giving away the ball when you're up 1 with a little bit of time left in the half, as great run is coming through here from
Welsh for
freshman
speed.
duo.
Leaves it for Maher. Maher for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli not guarded, working it around the C at midfield. Mazzarelli leaves it on the ground, intended for Maher. Ross 11 sliding stop.
Whoa.
Maher.
Injury is had here. Oh, dear. Oh, no.
So Ross 11 went for the sliding save. Maher and I believe Manser just both stopped on a dime so as did not to collide with the goalkeeper. And Ross 11, unfortunately, a little bit shaken up. Referee and I believe a trainer coming to check on him now. We hope he's all right.
Multiple players slow to get up. Check is going to be made on the goalkeeper. Hope everyone is all right. That was a scary collision. Maher was chasing the ball down. Tender slid in for the grab. And Maher and the defender got tripped up over the goalkeeper. Just everyone fell on top of each other.
Just an unfortunate case of not being able to stop on time.
Horse and Maher will get a slight word from the referee. I think just a casual be careful. Don't want you to get hurt, of course. Don't want anyone to get hurt for that matter.
So while Ross 11 gets looked at, your score is 1-0. Mount St. Mary. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left in the first half. 2 corner kicks, 3 shots on goal for the Mount. No corner kicks, 1 shot on goal for the Bloodhounds. The trainer has seen enough. Ross 11 appears good to go, thankfully. So it'll be a goal kick. Plenty of time to make something happen, but 2 minutes, I mean, we're nearing the end of the first half here.
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely getting in the championship rounds of the late half here. And as I always mention, I think it's just obligatory for any new viewers, there is no stoppage time in college. So once it hits 0, we will be into halftime, and you'll get a break from our voices.
Ross 11 directing traffic a little bit here. We'll get it to Quantianquis along the near sideline. Welsh picked it off, had some room to run, just misplayed it, ends up out of bounds behind the end line. Ross 11 will do a goal kick again.
Mount's definitely pushing the issue here. I think John Jay is just trying to get out of here without giving up another goal in these last 2 minutes.
And that's the vibe. I was going to say that too, but I feel like just John Jay and Ross 11, impressive move there as Hoffman gets lost. Low line drive. I mean, it just feels like John Jay is just trying to get it to halftime. Like you said, I mean, they're baby-proofing it, if you will, just making sure, like you said, they don't give up another goal before halftime.
Agreed, and if they give up a goal here in these last 90 seconds, all bets are going to be off for the second half. They're going to come out. They're going to have to come out like animals, which you never want to be doing.
Impressive sliding defensive effort from Carl Menyo. Maher stumbles. Hoffman giving chase. Ross 11 slides again. Hoffman wisely jumps over Ross 11. And that was near identical to the play where Ross 11 just got shaken up.
Certainly, and it's always a scary thing when a striker is coming in hard for a ball and the tender is sliding in to grab the ball. So soccer is not technically a contact sport by most means, but it can definitely be one if you're not careful.
Mazzarelli knocks it down. Under a minute to play here, so we'll see if either side has some late half magic in them. Bevavino for Horn. Horn for Ostendorp along the far sideline. Ostendorp has some trouble with it, lets that go. And, Bob, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, there's too deep for John Jay just to get the Knights to think about the defense, but there's not any overwhelming pressure.
Certainly not, and I think John Jay is just going to continue to try and push the envelope through the midfield, and I don't believe they're going to be putting much pressure on the Knights going forward here.
I wonder, that ball's rifled well high, just over the net.
Another miss hit one into the rose bushes over there by the flag post.
17 seconds. It was 17 seconds. Now it's less than 10. So, I believe this Noah Horn goal kick will take us into the break. So, Bob, it is still 1-0 Knights. An impressive goal coming from Sam Bevavino. Bob, what are your first half takeaways?
Is this one's about to sound? Okay, I thought it was going to be a lot louder. First half takeaways, very, very positive. I liked seeing that. I think that's the first time. No, actually, I apologize. It's not the first time we've seen a halftime lead. We were leading at half during Telehigh, and we know how that ended. So I'm hoping going into the second half, we continue to press the issue. I'm tripping on every word right now, Lucas. Jeez Louise. We've been off for 2 weeks. Hopefully we continue to push the envelope closed and go and try and bag a second one going into this next 45.
So despite it only being 1-0, the first half, all Knights. John Jay, the only offensive statistic is one shot on goal. Horn wrapped that up easily. Easy day at the office for the Knights netminder. So ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in 15 minutes. I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me in the booth is Bob Hauk. And just to reiterate, the Mount St. Mary Knights up 1-0 on the John Jay Bloodhounds. We will see you for the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is a beautiful Wednesday night from Kaplan Field here in Newburgh, New York. The Mount St. Mary Knights currently hold a 1-0 advantage over the John Jay Bloodhounds. Bob, what are some keys to the second half here?
I think it's going to be back to possession again. The Knights have had about a 60-40, so I think John Jay is going to be trying to press a little bit more. Third year head coach Chris Weeks was very animated in the halftime huddle of John Jay. The Bloodhounds hopefully will be more motivated to go get themselves a goal early on here. I think the Knights just need to be aware and not let anything crazy happen off rip.
So the Bloodhounds, one shot on goal, no goals. It's been, I don't know. Lackluster seems a little harsh, but it has been a fairly unremarkable offensive effort for John Jay.
Certainly, and of course, I'm not the one standing on the pitch at the moment, but I am the one that's in the booth, so I will comment that their attack has not been anything dangerous. Nothing to write home about just yet, so we'll have to see what they come up with in this next 45.
After all, Bob, you and I are the ones they hired to talk about the people on the pitch, and we will do just that.
Yeah, I think we're doing a well enough job of talking about the folks that are on the pitch.
Well,
they're there and we're here.
As always say, Bob, nobody's complained about us yet. This is our fifth game together, I believe.
Yes.
So
we've done 3 women's games and 2 men's games, I believe, right?
Yeah, that checks out. That would be 5.
And any reoccurring viewers of the page itself heard me yesterday for the women's volleyball. It secured a 3-0 set victory over the Bard Raptors.
How sweep it is.
Home sweep home for our home opener.
I got one upped.
I'm pretty good.
Bob, it's time to party. The second half of action is underway. John Jay looking to get up off the mat here for the second half. Of course, your score still 1-0. I completely forgot about the copy of the Constitution I have in my jacket pocket.
Happy Constitution Day, of course.
Of course, naturally.
Wow, it's literally just a little leaflet that has the Constitution word for word.
I actually have that on me at all times. It's just a coincidence it's Constitution Day.
I need a pocket Constitution at all times.
I don't leave my dorm without it. Phone, wallet, AirPods, keys, and the Constitution.
Never lose an argument again if you have your pocket Constitution.
Never lose anything again. That one way upfield, intended for Hughes, up out of play.
Someone starts chatting class during your history lecture or something, you could just say, hey, wait a minute. Let me fact check
Let's consult the rule book.
We're going to consult the guidebook here.
You know how NFL referees go to the replay booths for just to make sure they got the call right? In history class, somebody will say something. I'll check the Constitution just to make sure.
Of course, non-history, well-known history major Lucas Stackpole.
Oh, no, of course.
Loves his history.
The thing is, I actually do enjoy history. I just don't enjoy it enough to be a history major.
History's definitely an interesting subject.
No, of course.
I think people are just too lazy with history. They don't like the amount of memorization and whatnot with history. It's a lot less linear.
Well, people just don't. Yeah, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it, and there are many such examples. As Mark sends that one off to the left of the net, of course, both sides switch. The Knights now going to the right side of your screen, wearing white. The Bloodhounds in navy blue going to the left.
Many such cases.
Many such cases. Now here's Gutierrez to take the corner kick, the third of the game for the Knights.
Mr. Olympico himself.
Yeah, Bob, if you remember 2 weeks ago, Gutierrez was in a situation pretty similar to this one. We'll see what he has in his bag of tricks, as that one's straight out, intended for Keyser. Volley, that one's still loose in front, ends up just to the left of the net, out of play behind the end line. So nothing comes of the corner kick.
I was expecting Keyser to go for goal, but it seems to be he was trying to pass that into the box. Trickled around a little bit, but nothing came home.
I think the idea was for Keyser to get a shot off. He certainly seemed poised to. I just don't think he squared it up all the way.
Certainly. He might have lost in the light just a little bit as it's getting darker here as we move closer into the evening time and my bedtime.
Of course. It's been a pretty smooth sailing so far, at least for us here in the booth, and now it's loose in front, and it will be Ross 11 to come away with it.
Temperatures are much nicer out
of course,
previous days.
And my biggest adjustment, I've been a student here. This is now my 3rd year. I'm not from the New York area, so I'm always impressed with just how drastic the weather is. It was beautiful this morning, not a cloud in the sky. It was warm on my my walk to my singular class today. And then 2 hours later, I go work out, and I come out, and it's raining. And it's not fair. It doesn't make any sense. You don't get any nice weather out here.
Yeah, it's a little rough. You get all 4 seasons, but the problem is that in the summertime it's just obnoxiously hot, and then any other time of year it's either rainy and cool or it's freezing cold and snowing.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you get all 4 seasons, which is great, but the bad thing is you get all 4 seasons in a 12-hour span.
Yeah, of course, and you get 9 months of fair to really cold weather, and then 3 months of just scorching hot weather. So it's very on and off.
And of course, back home in California, the beautiful Central Valley, we have 1 season, and that's hot. As that one ends up out of play along the near sideline. Down for the mount is Cam Welsh.
It's going to be hot. Thank you, Al.
Tynan checking in on Welsh. So Welsh limping, but he is moving under his own power. The Knights will not make a substitution. So that one goes off the head of Klamis, now back into Klamis.
Who's been subbed back on for the second half.
And now here's Klamis with a move, guarded tightly by Bevavino. Shavzadi rifles that one over the screen, and that one heading towards College Courts. On the walk back to the dorm room, I'll be sure to grab that one.
Definitely knocked on a window there. Wowzers.
And it
I
is
think
it.
the ball boy is on his way to go grab it, so he might be beating you to the case.
We'll see him tomorrow afternoon. And, of course, I mean, Klamis, we're talking about at 6 goals in 7 games, a prolific talent on the goal-scoring front, but I feel like the Knights have done a good job containing him so far.
Most certainly. They've for sure been bottling up his scoring prowess as much as they can.
That one's still loose in front, trying to get a shot off his Helmer Herrera, and we have a whistle as Herrera's a little shaken up.
Longacre, again, very animated on the sideline.
I mean, Bob, I have to consult your soccer knowledge here. I mean, all things considered, that looked like a clean defensive effort.
It certainly did, but if he was infringing on his effort to push a ball towards the net or make a pass, then I suppose the neon shirts who get paid to referee, and I don't, made the call that it was a foul.
So, I mean, the thing is, referees, umpires, officials, they're not always right, but unfortunately they're never wrong. So Shavzadi will have a free kick here for the Bloodhounds.
About 40 yards out here. He's standing near parallel to the ball, so I believe this is going to be a side-winding, clipped-in pass towards the middle of the box.
So there's a freshman wall in front. Shavzadi will send it towards the net, just to the left and out of play. Horn, a diving effort. Thankfully, the ball to the left of the net, out of play. It'll be a goal kick.
Whoa.
For Horn. But that ball, Bob, that ball was ballistered.
A hammered shot that just kissed wide of the post and a guttural scream coming from the free kick taker. That was almost a worldie.
So, I mean, there have been a few, at least for John Jay, I mean, there have been a few shots that aren't exactly on target, but they have been impressive feats of strength.
Certainly a lot of shots fired here from the Bloodhounds.
And Tynan tried to get that one to Welsh. Sends that one out of play, out behind the end line. It will be Bloodhounds ball. Goal kick coming for Ross 11. And so, I mean, if nothing else, John Jay leads the game in impressive efforts kicking the ball. Because they've had some where you and I have had to stop and admire it for a second. Absolutely,
and if they were stat casting, they would definitely be leading the contest in exit velocity.
Exit velocity. That has to be, I mean, I'm sure the higher up you get, there has to be some sort of metric that tracks how hard balls are kicked, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of it is in Europe, so
of course,
it's mostly tracked in kilometers, but yes.
Kilometers don't count.
True. Shout out the imperial system.
Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, there are countries that use the metric system, and there are countries that have been to the moon. So
with our numbers, we went first.
I'm pretty sure we're also, like, we're still the only people who have gone to the moon, right? I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always forget that. The Soviets put a person in space first. We put a man on the moon first.
Yeah, Yuri Gagarin was the first guy in space, but he wasn't the first guy on the moon. So that one loose in front. Now here's Welsh giving chase. Ross 11 opts to back off. That's loose in front. Welsh taps it in.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable run. The entire sideline exploding. Pink jerseys and white jerseys mobbing Welsh in the corner there. An unbelievable run that he stuck with. Chipped it over the tender. Just fell into the net.
So the freshman Cam Welsh, a beautiful effort. He has been around the ball all game. Bob, you and I have talked about it, but what an effort to stick with the ball and to get it over the 6-1 Ross 11, and it is now 2-0 Mount St. Mary.
Wow, that's such a difficult ball to stay with. He had a defender blanketing him all the way through, and he just found it, and he chipped it right over the tender there for a wonderful, wonderful goal to double the advantage for the Knights.
And so 37-47 to play in the second half, but the Knights have another goal 2-0 now.
And Welsh with his first of the season, which will be his first collegiate goal of his career we have witnessed here.
Congratulations to Cam Welsh, and man, that was a beauty.
Get that kid the ball. That's stuff you want to remember.
So now the Knights, another a goal, an early goal, maybe injecting some life into this offense. Gutierrez giving chase. That one ends up out of play. And it will be Knights ball. Hughes to throw it in.
And you're this early in the half, ought to just go for it again. Just see what you can get if they're giving you the space to get it.
I mean, now if you're the Knights, I mean, you have an extra goal to work with here. So, I mean, obviously you're not going to do anything stupid. You're not going to do anything that can get you into any kind of danger or hot water. But, I mean, to your point, they can, I think, be a little more aggressive as Allison guarded tightly by Klamis. Leaves that one for Horn. Horn has to run it down, but will do so. Now here's Hughes. Hughes has that one deflected by Shafzadi. Still loose in front here. The Bloodhounds now. Falling and a whistle. It'll be a free kick here for John Jay. And so I wouldn't call the Knights' defense, I wouldn't call it stifling or overwhelming or anything by that metric, but they have been dominant. I mean, this is, or the Knights' defense today has been sneaky dominant. I mean, one shot on goal, and if I can remember correctly, I mean, that one wasn't a particular threat either.
No, certainly not. I believe that shot on goal was just that free kick that got
right
moonshotted from the midfield line. So otherwise, yes, they've been very efficient in clearing the ball and keeping the ball out of the box.
That one's rifled towards the net. Speaking of moonshots towards the net, the exact same result. Horn wraps it up, and that one might go into the book as the second shot on goal. But that's more so a technicality. I mean, both of the shots on goal now have come from almost midfield.
Certainly, and apologies, I was looking for where Gutierrez was behind the awning that we can't see. So yes, certainly, that's a great sign from the Knights that the only shots that have fallen towards your net were from free kicks about 50 yards out. So you're obviously doing something right.
So Cam Welsh and Carl Menyo get into a foot race. Welsh in Menyo's ear the whole time. Menyo, no choice to kick it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Knights, ultimately turned over, rifled towards the end of the field. Now here's Horn. Horn waits to get back into his domain, kicks the ball away, just sends that one out of bounds.
An experienced play there from an experienced goalkeeper, just luring in that attacker, keep backing up, puts himself in a better position, chips it out of bounds, forces John Jay to reset, and lets the Mount put themselves back into position.
So Noah Horn continues what has been an impressive start to the year. So 6 goals given up, and this is the 7th contest. So as of right now, he is averaging, or his goals against, it's less than a goal a game.
And that is very, very impressive.
6 goals in what is now 6.5 games. As there's a Bloodhound shaken up, calls for a stoppage. The referee does so. Tynan will get a talking to as Helmer Herrera gets up, and he appears okay. So it'll be a free kick.
You have to wonder if Shadi is going to take another rip here.
Might as well. And if you'll remember, he rifled one just to the left of the net. And, I mean, if you're John Jay, why not try that again? Rips it towards the net. It is that. Takes a weird bounce. Horn knocks it down and ultimately corrals it. Nicely done. And that's the hardest save Horn's had to make so far tonight.
Certainly. And Zadi tweaking a little bit in the midfield here. I'd be angry, too, if I missed 2 that narrowly. But Horn definitely looking firm as the senior tender.
And
keeps it out of the net.
And there's the advantage that you and I were alluding to earlier, just the fact that the turf is still pretty wet. I mean, obviously, we've harped on the fact it was rainy earlier. You guys don't need to hear that again. But, I mean, the wet turf does make the ball do some weird things.
Most certainly. And
that one's still loose in front. Diving effort from Allison to keep that one out of the net. Horn was there, but Allison able to keep it out anyway. Just double locking the door, just to be sure. And now, here are the Bloodhounds. A late whistle.
Weak call.
Daniel Manser was down on the ground around midfield. He's a little shaken up. He was down for, I don't want to say some time, but at least a couple of seconds before the whistle was blown. So perhaps just a precaution, if anything, but it'll be John Jay ball.
There was a little bit of a hand to the face from Tynan, and that's what the referee just called there. I'm not a fan of that call at all.
Hand in the face?
Yeah, he stiff-armed a gentleman.
Oh, well, you could have just said
who
that.
sold the call.
Hand in the face makes it sound soft. As Manser rifles that one towards the net. Horn got a body on it. Oh, and it's loose in front and tapped in. And a rare mistake from Noah Horn leads to a goal for Eden Shafzadi, and it is now 2-1.
Jeez, and he finally gets one after taking 2 very hard shots off free kicks here. An unfortunate trickle in the box for Shafzadi to tap in.
And so what may have been a controversial call leads to a free kick for the Bloodhounds, which leads to a goal. That one low. Horn, I mean, he looked like he saw it the whole way. Appeared he had it sized up and just threw the 5-hole. It's loose in front. Shafzadi taps it home, and the deficit is cut in half.
And to that point again with the turf, the ball's going to take weird bounces on wet turf. And I mean, as is, it's going to move on turf like concrete because the turf is so hard compared to real grass. And then it's wet, it's going to be even quicker.
Well, the peculiar thing about that was that it looked like the ball got to Horn on the fly. It was just low. I mean, it comes up, and to relate this to baseball, I mean, the idea is either long hop or no hop. So either you catch the ball on the fly or you let the ball bounce some distance in front of you and then you make an easier catch. A short hop where it lands right in front of you, right in the middle, that's hard to size up, and it appears as Horn had that problem.
Certainly, the ball might have just ricocheted in a way he wasn't expecting. And it can happen with these bright lights and it's getting dark out. Might have just lost it a little bit.
And so now that goal from Welsh becomes infinitely more important. So now the Knights looking to get an insurance goal again. Leaves that one up for Ross 11. Ross 11 that caught the head of a Bloodhound in front and redirected the ball. It didn't look like Ross 11 was ready for it, but ultimately corrals it anyway. And so now after John Jay, I mean, that's the first goal of the game for you, obviously, but it's also the first legitimate offensive opportunity they've had. So, I mean, I expect them to now just try and ride the lightning, per se. I mean, there's still over half an hour left, 31:40 and counting down. I mean, you have plenty of time to grab the equalizer.
Certainly, and it wasn't, not to sound like a pure homer here, but it wasn't a goal they particularly manufactured. It did come off of a mistake. So I think they'll have to just keep trying to build and find a second one. But that second goal from Welsh is definitely or not Welsh, Walsh, right? I apologize.
It's Welsh.
Welsh? Okay.
Welsh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize. I didn't have the sheet in front of me. Welsh definitely becoming much more important here as the Knights are holding a 2-1 advantage.
Of course. And I was going to have something really profound to say in response to what you just said, and then I completely whiffed.
It happens to the best of us.
So if it comes back into my head, I'll bring it up, but as of right now, we'll just let it lie. As that one ends up out of play along the far sideline, it'll go the way of the Bloodhounds. Oh, I remember. You said it was a goal that wasn't particularly manufactured by the Bloodhounds, which is true. But conversely, I mean, that's the Bloodhounds taking advantage of their opponent's mistake, which is the hallmark of a good team. I mean, you see that a lot. You say take advantage of your opponent's mistakes. I mean, objectively, that's a lot harder to say than to do. But so far, the Bloodhounds, or at least in the second half, the Bloodhounds have talked the talk and walked the walk. It's 2-1.
Certainly, and of course, they don't ask how, they ask how many. So at the end of the day, it's 2-1, and most certainly the Bloodhounds can work off of that.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
What you gonna do when we tie the game?
That one's rifled out of play.
What on God's green earth was that?
That one's blasted into the lacrosse net.
Crikey.
It will be, I believe, a corner kick for the Mount. Freshman TJ Mark, the back, that would be the back right sideline. I do know my lefts from my rights, contrary to popular belief.
Average DMP major.
Well, that's what, they don't pay me to get my lefts from my rights. They pay me to call the game. And that I can do. If you ask me for directions, not so much. But thankfully, that's not what I've been hired to do.
There's a reason I use GPS everywhere I go.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I've been here for now, what is my third year. I still don't know where anything is off campus.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you don't drive very frequently. Well, you haven't had
I don't drive at all.
because you don't have a car here.
Yeah, that makes it hard.
You do eventually get used to it over time, but it is a funky area. There's a lot of things tucked in and a lot of things just all around us.
That's just how the world works, man.
Well, it's a far busier location than where I grew up.
That is fair.
That's what I was trying to get at. This ball is booted by Horn. A little bit of a dangerous one. Trickled in from the John Jay midfield.
Still loose in front. And so curiously enough, Bob, we talked about after the goal. I mean, John Jay hasn't really taken that next step. As here's Mazzarelli now with the step. We'll try and send that one towards the middle. It catches somebody in front. Gutierrez knocks it down. Gutierrez trying to size it up. Looked like a bit of a miscommunication between him and Tynan. Tynan takes a hard fall. We have a whistle.
Whoa. It's going to be a very dangerous free kick here. Just a little bit of a wild tackle coming out there.
It'll be a penalty from, at least from what here, it looks like it can't be more than a yard outside the box.
Be about a 20-yard free kick. There's going to be a heavy wall from John Jay.
So John Jay lucky that penalty didn't occur a foot to the right, because that would have been a penalty kick.
Certainly, and you're going to see either something extremely creative or you're going to see a very well-placed shot from the mount here. I'd be shocked if a service is attempted at all.
And so Gutierrez taking the free kick, both sides setting up.
And it appears John Jay is not laying a man down behind the wall, so the low-driven shot is available for Gutierrez if he would prefer it.
We'll see what route the Knights elect to take here. Gutierrez sends that one just high. So the idea was there, the vision was there, the execution not quite. The free kick goes over the crossbar. It stays 2-1. Series of substitutions for both sides. Coming on for the Knights, number 6, Michael Hillis. And Hillis, now the 6th freshman, coincidentally wearing number 6, as Bob and I are keeping a running tab on the freshmen that have appeared in today's game. So the Knights getting a lot of effort from the youth here tonight. Obviously Cam Welsh having scored what is now the difference maker.
Daycare working in full effect tonight on this Wednesday evening.
Exactly. I like that. And so the Knights, the daycare, holding it down. Bevavino, the other goal scorer from Mount St. Mary, good job keeping that just in bounds. Tynan giving chase, able to corral it. Gets it back to Tynan. Or, sorry, that's Allison, I believe. It is dark out now. And, of course.
Certainly.
Now
Showing the weight room by Hillis. Wow.
Now here's Hillis. There's Tynan taking another fall.
Numerous bodies on the floor.
Tynan a little shaken up. Clutching his leg.
There appears to be a corpse in the far end of the field.
Oh,
I hope he's all right.
I didn't even notice that. There's a bloodhound shaken up on the far sideline. He's down, and as the trainer comes out,
Hardly moving.
as the trainer comes out to check on him, your score 2-1. Bob and I will briefly take a step aside. So off comes the trainer, up and moving under his own power. I believe that's number 3, Brian Kwatiankis. We hope he's all right. He's up and moving. I believe that is a coach accompanying him. I assume he'll come out of the game, but the fact he's up and walking is a good sign.
Always a good sign.
Of course.
And that is indeed how now?
Kwatiankis.
There we go.
There
All
we
right.
go.
There we are. So I'm not the one that gets paid to pronounce the names.
Unfortunately, I am, and I'm not much better. So,
Oh,
and of course, I mean, we hope Kwatiankis is okay, and not to make light of the situation, obviously. Just,
of course.
and there are some unique last names we do come across in the broadcast booth.
Oh, of course.
And now here's Welsh with speed, pretty similar to the goal he scored earlier in the second half. The Bloodhounds taking no chances.
Of course, it's terrifying for a defender to be dealing with wingers that can do what Welsh did just a few minutes ago, so that's definitely going to be on the Bloodhounds' mind for the rest of the night.
Of course, and so now Knights a throw in. The ball will be in their attacking third for what feels like the first time since the Welsh goal. And if you're the Knights, I mean, the Bloodhounds haven't really threatened offensively since they scored, but I mean, still, the Knights are the team that has to answer back here. Here's Keyser. That one deflected in front, goes straight up just outside of the box. TJ Mark gets a head on it. It bounces in front. Ross 11 able to wrap it up.
And of course, you hear the phrase win the inning quite frequently in baseball, so I think here you have to win the half if you're the Knights, obviously.
No, yeah, of course. I mean, of course, you win the half, you're halfway to winning the game. But, I mean, no, you're right, though, because the Mounts, I mean, Welsh scored. And then the Bloodhounds answered right back, and then now the game is just sort of stalled out. I mean, the Knights, the defense has been pretty well, or the defense has been played pretty well, as Shavzadi, the Bloodhounds goal scorer, he's down and shaken up.
Oh.
The referees take notice, call for a stoppage, and we hope he's all right. Oh, I've seen this before, Bob. I think it's a cramp.
Oh, boy. Those are never good to deal with. Those always hurt.
And funny enough, Shavzadi's okay. It did appear just to be a cramp. And now that he's okay, I mean, I have a younger brother. He plays soccer. And I didn't believe cramps were this prevalent of an issue until I saw him go down with a cramp during a game. And the referee had to help him stretch it out.
Yeah.
And, Bob, I will say that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen on a sports field.
For those back home, Lucas's brother is like 6'5".
Yeah,
so I'm just imagining this gigantic kid getting assisted by a referee while he has a cramp.
My brother, I love him to death. He's 6'3", 160 pounds soaking wet. And so he's suffering this cramp, and he's clearly in a lot of distress. And this referee comes over and helps him. But Christopher, my brother, his leg is as tall as the referee is. It just looked absurd.
It must be rampant in California, in the Center Valley, because it's so hot and dry there all the time.
No, I couldn't believe my eyes. Well, because the way he fell, you thought he'd have been shot. I thought this was some life-threatening injury that had befallen my younger brother.
Befallen my younger brother.
And then the referee just had to come over and give him a calf stretch, and he was fine. And I was like, all those theatrics.
Do you think the poor kid perished on the Oregon Trail?
That's exactly what I thought happened. As that one ends up out of play.
Oh, my God. I can't.
That one out.
That's too good.
That one out behind the end line. And it'll be a free kick for Mark, as the Knights still up 2-1. And a kick will probably be sent towards the middle.
Corner kick here, most likely to the back post if I were to take a shot from the hip.
Mark sends it away. It's a low-line drive, catches a body in front out of play. It looked like that hit a Bloodhound. The referees commiserate and confirm it did hit a Bloodhound, so Bob will get to do this again.
Whether it was mishit or it was a different strategy, I was definitely off the mark, but we'll see what comes up on this next corner kick.
So Mark, I mean, the initial corner kick, the first one, the one that happened literally just now, looked a little short, so we'll see if the Knights try and change anything to the approach. This one much higher. Loose in front, Ross 11, using all 6'1" to bring that one down.
Strong hands there to keep that in his big mitts.
And that one's loose. Hughes giving chase.
Wow.
De Jesus in pursuit. Hughes, good effort to kick that one behind him. That one hits, I believe, Klamis. It'll be out of play.
Great touch from Hughes.
So the Knights will have a throw in deep in their own end.
And for those who have not played the beautiful game of football before, that's extremely hard to do, to be at full speed and kill a ball's momentum to get it to roll backwards like that while you're moving in the opposite direction. Very impressive move from the fullback there.
Throwing it in now, it'll be Wallace. Wallace gets it to Hillis. A couple of deflections, and it'll stick with the Bloodhounds. Good touch from Klamis. Klamis gets it to De Jesus. De Jesus puts the moves on Keyser, and now he has room to work. De Jesus from way outside. And that one will disappear into the parking lot somewhere. And an interesting play call there, Bob.
Rips one into the night, as Joe Buck would say. But wow, that was very much mishit. I don't know what happened there.
De Jesus did a good job getting around the defense, did a good job creating space, but that is a shot from some range. I mean, it's a range we've seen that the Bloodhounds, you know, it's within reach, but I mean, in a game 21 minutes and counting, or sorry, 21:50 and counting down, I mean, I feel like you can't afford to kind of take those superhero shots. And now you just Hillis with speed along the end line, tries to get that one towards the middle, can't. Karen's off both him and Metz, the defender. The referees will award the Knights a corner kick coming from the front right corner.
Great move from Hillis to stick with that, and great play to be able to knock that off of a navy blue leg and award the corner for the Knights.
So taking the corner kick duties, it'll be Mark again, his third corner kick in what feels like as many minutes.
An out-swinging ball, probably something deep here. Watch the delayed run of Keyser, perchance.
Mark sends it away, low line drive, still loose in front. Hits the ground before it hits a body, takes a weird bounce. Now here's Hughes, the last line of defense for the Knights, sends that one back deep. Bevavino tried to get ahead on it, couldn't, still bouncing in front. That one over a Knight. Heading towards the sideline. We'll see if anybody tries to save it. Trying to save it is Wallace. Good job being careful so as not to touch it. It'll be out of play. Bloodhound's ball. Cam Welsh comes out. On in relief comes Ryan Alvarado.
Senior forward from New Jersey.
And so now 20.5 minutes to play. The Knights just looking for some speed to close out the contest. Good touch from Klamis, guarded tightly by Bevavino. Bevavino able to work around the ball. Klamis gets back. Klamis works inside, chips that one towards the centering pass.
Whoa!
Good save by Horn.
Wow, unbelievable save by Horn to stick with that play and get a foot out there.
A beautiful centering pass. That's Keon Boyce on the shot. But Horn returns to sender, and it stays 2-1.
Lots of very loud protests from the bench side of
Mazzarelli falls, and we have a yellow card, the first of the contest.
Oh my, very hard tackle there. Not very happy pleas from the John Jay side.
I believe that is number 6, Aaron Cedillo. So it's Cedillo pleading his case. The referee, of course, wants nothing to do with it.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
SpongeBob.
Time's up.
That's SpongeBob, yeah. There we go. I knew that one. I knew that one.
There we are. We're locked in, baby. Mid-season form.
Mid-season. We are getting close to mid-season form. I mean, we're 5 games in.
So it's weird because soccer you usually associate with a 6 to 7 month season, but damn it. But college soccer is a track race. I mean, they play about 30 games in the span of 2 months.
Of course, I mean, the Knights have been busy since the road trip. I mean, they've played 3 games all on the road since we called our most recent contest 2 weeks ago. Here's Bevavino.
I've noticed a lot of our road sports this year, for some reason, has been on the road a lot. Women's volleyball just played their first home match of the season. They're over 2 weeks into the season.
The Knights are road warriors.
Apparently so.
That pass from Bevavino, intended for Mazzarelli, just out of reach. It goes out quietly behind the end line. 19:40 and counting down. John Jay down a goal. They do have the most recent goal of the contest, and they had a beautiful effort, or a beautiful chance, but what a stop from Horn to keep this one 2-1.
Brilliant from the senior goalkeeper to keep that out of the net. I mean, it's just unbelievable stuff from the kid.
Bloodhound takes a fall. There's a whistle, and it will go the way of John Jay.
Tad too aggressive from Alvarado there, as he's very happy to be incorporated into the contest.
So now if you're the Knights, I mean, you have to Horn, what a save, remarkable save that was. Now you have to find a way to turn that into some offense, because the John Jay goal, there was a little bit of a stalemate, and then that scoring chance for John Jay was that first piece of offense we've seen since the goal. So if you're the Knights, you just have to, send a message, you're not done yet. I mean, you're still winning the game, but there's no reason to put anything on cruise control. The Bloodhounds corralling it, trying to just knock it down. There's Boyce, good effort there. Back to Cedillo. Cedillo for Boyce. Boyce falls. Takes a breath. Working along the near sideline. Now it's John Jay giving chase. Rifles that one. Klamis, good job there. So Klamis hasn't had any shots on the net, but he has been a playmaker anytime he's gotten the ball. It's easy to see as there's a sliding effort, a whistle, it'll go the way of the mount.
Well, certainly, it's been very entertaining on the ball. And if I can direct the attention of the viewers back home to Josh Brain and Ryan Alvarado in the near side here, number 24 and 14. Alvarado's a very, very fast fellow, if anyone hasn't seen him play before, so should be some entertaining foot races up the right side here, nearest to the camera.
So the referee calls a stoppage. I believe there was some sort of miscommunication with the ball boys on either side of the field. As entertaining as soccer would be with 3 balls on the field, that is unfortunately not how the game is played. So
Seems mildly difficult.
No, I mean, I don't know. I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, certainly.
And so the slight inconvenience is resolved, and we're back to work. Now it's Tynan, double-teamed, able to just create any kind of separation. Does a good job. Here's Tynan. Sends that one inside. Diving stop to keep that one from finding a man in white. Right now here's De Jesus, guarded by Hughes. De Jesus rifles that one along the near sidelines. It'll stay in bounds, but there isn't a Bloodhound in the vicinity. Horn just has to get rid of it, and we'll work it back inside the goalie box and picks it up. 17-21 and counting down. Obviously, your score's still 2-1. Bob, we're poised for a pretty solid finish.
Yeah, it should be photo finish here as Knights are clinging on for dear life to a 2-1 lead. You would hate to lose at home.
Bevavino for Keyser, leaves it for Hughes for Mazzarelli. Back to Bevavino. And to your point, Bob, I mean, it's no fun losing or tying at home and not to manifest anything, but this is a game the Knights were winning by 2 goals.
Absolutely, and Delhi finished in a similar fashion where the Knights gave up a goal right around this time, so I think they just have to put on the afterburners and make sure that doesn't happen again.
No, of course. I mean, again, you learn from your mistakes. I mean, at the Delhi game, you know, there are games like that over the course of a sports season. There's games you lose that exist solely to have taught you a lesson. And that Delhi game, I believe you could throw under that category, as there's both sides. Just Wallace has trouble with it, able to corral it enough to at least send it away. Gets it to Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli falls. We have a whistle. It'll be a free kick now for the Bloodhounds.
Not a fan of that call there. I don't like that. Both Mazzarelli and Clemens are going for the ball there, and they give the call in the favor of John Jay. I cannot say I love that.
And similarly, this is almost exactly where the free kick that led to the goal was.
I think it was mirrored
Bloodhounds
on the other side of the pitch, if I'm not mistaken. So this is booted away.
That one's rifled, streaking in front. That one's loose. Found its way towards the net, but rolls harmlessly towards Horn. He'll wrap it up.
So we're going to take a moment here. Horn will
Yeah,
get his troops rallied.
A little bit of a breather for all parties involved. So, of course, the 4 horsemen of defense now for the Knights. That's Hughes from right to left. Hughes, Bevavino, Allison, and now Wallace. And they've been in that formation the whole game. I mean, if you're going to leave the 4 horsemen unguarded, I mean, they'll just play catch with each other until you go and take it.
Certainly, and they're playing a 4-3-3 of some sort, if I'm not mistaken, so it does definitely seem to be a game plan to hold possession as heavily as possible.
Tried to corral it, couldn't. And so if nothing else, it'll just be an inconvenience for John Jay. Hillis gives chase. It'll be a throw-in for them out now, deep in their attacking third. Under 15 minutes to play. The Knights looking for some more insurance.
100%, and nearing the 80-minute mark here, there's going to be some interesting tactics and other switches that will come around.
Hughes tosses it in. Just inside the box, but not near any action. That one leaks its way towards Ross 11. Still 2-1. 14.5 minutes to play. Shaking up for a photo finish. And Bob, this entire game really has just felt like a chess match. I mean, there's been some goals, but there's been some fun goals. But, I mean, this isn't one that's going to pack out the highlight reel.
Certainly not, but there's plenty of midfield play and a lot of holding here. That's
no, of course,
coming from both sides.
This is a game I believe soccer purists can enjoy.
Something along those lines, yes. 3 total goals is not a bad match to consume as a viewer, and there's been a lot of very good midfield play, so I'm impressed.
So both sides, for the most part, have done the little things right. And the throw-in from Wallace deflects off someone. It ends up out of play, and so we'll do it again. Klamis expresses his discontent with the call. He believed it was going the way of John Jay. The referees quickly correct that. Throws it into a sea of people right around the midfield line towards the near sideline. Coincidentally, right where I can't see. Mazzarelli and a Bloodhound both jump for it. The Bloodhounds will come away with it. De Jesus gets it for foot. Now here's Boyce. Boyce with a step on Hughes. Hughes kicks it straight up. That one leaking towards the far sideline. It's going to end up out of play, and it will be a throw-in now for John Jay. John Jay deep in their attacking third, 13-15 to play. The Bloodhounds to throw it in. Series of substitutions for both sides. Coming on for the Mount, that's number 22, Carson Maker. Coming back on for the Bloodhounds, Eden Shavzadi, the goal scorer, and number 13, Ian Hardigan. So leaving the field is TJ Mark to a round of applause from the Knights bench.
Very impressive performance from the kid.
And again, the youth movement for the Knights has played quite well tonight.
Coach Longacre has to be very proud of the way they've played tonight. The boys have just been playing their hearts out, and they're profiting from a 2-1 lead at the moment because of it.
Mazzarelli, a leaping effort, no whistle. It looked scarier than it was. The Bloodhounds, that one's rocketed towards the net, well to the left of the net, out of play, out behind the end line.
Whoa. Certainly from the parking lot there, that ball whizzed wide. That had some mustard behind it.
Some impressive power from John Jay, just not a whole lot of accuracy, the one goal notwithstanding, obviously. And if this 2-1 score holds up, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for post-game interviews with the player of the game and the Knights head coach.
Of course, and John Jay definitely flexing their muscles a little bit, just in the wrong mirror here, but I think soon they might be looking towards the right mirror.
Now here's Klamis, guarded tightly by Allison. Bevavino just gets it out of harm's way. It looks like it'll stick with the Bloodhounds, but the Bloodhounds will have to do it from deep in their own end. 12:20 to play, plenty of time. Throw in coming.
And, of course, holding on to these 3 points for the victory is so important to the Knights as they're going to get a little bit of a break. And they'll be back on the road against Old West on Saturday here. And John Jay with a lot of time to think because they'll have a full week break. They don't play again until next Wednesday against WestCon in WestCon.
Interesting.
Or in Connecticut. I don't think there's actually a WestCon. I apologize.
I mean, WestCon is just in Western Connecticut.
Something along those lines, yes.
That wouldn't be unreasonable to assume. And I'm not making assumptions. I know what that is.
it just sounds odd when I say in WestCon.
Of course.
In Western Connecticut, yes, that's where they'll be.
At WestCon, which happens to be in Western Connecticut.
In a week's time.
In a week's time. Fun fact. And I believe this is the only soccer game we're doing, you and I are doing this week. I think the women are out of town all week.
I believe so, yes.
They are playing today on the road. I believe it is Rutgers Newark.
Yes.
It's Rutgers satellite of some capacity. Malzrelli puts the moves on, sends that one across the field. Waiting is Keyser. Keyser dumps that one off for Hughes, gets it back to Keyser. Keyser upfield, leaves it for Maker. Maker now it's Keyser with a step. Just out of play, Maker that pass just ahead of the intended target. It will be a throw in for the Bloodhounds. Coming from right around midfield, rushed effort, catches a Knight in front, deflects off a Knight. It'll be another throw in. Just on the other side of midfield. Shavzadi guarded tightly. Just rifles that one towards the net. Not a whole lot of people in front. And it'll be the Knights sending it away. That's Keyser again. And so now 11 minutes to play. And, I mean, these throw-ins, these last few possessions, it feels like the Bloodhounds have just used the dump and chase method. I mean, they've gotten the ball deep in the Knights' end, but there haven't been a lot of Bloodhounds to make a play on it.
Certainly, as they're working it up the wing here, it definitely does seem to be there.
Sends that one towards the middle. It's high arcing. It'll be out of reach of anyone. Klamis in the vicinity. That one's sent away again. Nicely done there from Wallace. Working it up along the near sideline, it's Herrera. Herrera gets it to Josh Bryan. Bryan, good move. Tried to get it around Wallace. Can't. Wallace, good effort there just to kick it behind him. Try to get out of harm's way. Tynan also gets a foot on it, and here's Maker. Still pretty deep in the Bloodhounds' end, but the Knights do have possession. Here's Keyser. Opts not to send it away. The Knights working with it deep in their own end. Here's Tynan. Tynan gets it all the way back. It's Horn. Klamis chasing the ball just to get into Horn's head. Horn's pass leaves it for Allison. Allison, sliding tackle there.
Whoa. That's going to be a card.
Stoppage, and you can't do that.
That is a gnarly tackle. That was devious.
Allison spurns the helping hand from Shavzadi. No argument from Shavzadi. It'll be a yellow card.
I mean, he folded the poor kid on that one. That was dangerous.
No theatrics there. No objections from Shavzadi. So it'll be a yellow card, the second of the contest now for the Bloodhounds.
Jeez Louise. An aggressive side, and definitely seems to be they're losing form just a tad bit here. With how much they're pumping the ball upfield, it looks like they're just trying to find a bounce to get in behind. It doesn't seem like there's much more of a game plan, if I'm being honest.
So Shavzadi, the one-time goal scorer, the lone goal scorer for John Jay. A brutal mistake. I mean, the ball was deep in John Jay's own end. So I'm not saying that would have gotten the equalizer there, but that is definitely shooting yourself in the foot.
And certainly never helps to get a yellow card this late in the match.
No, of course not.
Or at any time in particular.
Herrera gets it to Hardigan. Hardigan, it's loose in front. It'll be along the far sideline. Catches the head of a Bloodhound. Bevavino returns the favor. Both sides giving chase. So the Bloodhounds have spent a lot of time in the Knights' end within the last couple minutes or so, but so far to no avail. No serious pressure, and in turn, no equalizer.
Definitely seems to be the Knights are holding as firm as humanly possible here as John Jay is going to continue to press on, trying to get this equalizer on the road.
Bend but don't break. 8:44 and counting down. Liam Hughes on the free kick here from Mount St. Mary.
And if I may interlude, catch me and Lucas next week on the 24th at 6 p.m. for men's soccer versus Sarah Lawrence at Kaplan Field. You don't want to miss it.
A week from today, the Knights and the Griffins, the battle of the medieval creatures. As Hillis goes flying in, Ross 11 takes exception. There is a whistle.
A booking here, I believe.
And it will be. That is a yellow card on Michael Hillis. Hillis, no objection.
Can't touch the tender in that fashion. Pause.
So some physical soccer. Here in the back half. And both sides, I mean, I don't want to say starting to see the cracks. I mean, I'm sure these are more crimes of passion than anything deliberate. But you can tell that the match is certainly winding down.
Definitely getting into the later stages, you definitely see a lot of guys just emptying the gas tank here as they're trying to secure a win and capture a draw on either end, of course.
So, I mean, now if you're the Bloodhounds, you're just looking to get the equalizer by any means necessary. And if you're the Knights, you're preventing them from getting the equalizer by any means necessary.
Most certainly. So you definitely see a lot of desperation. You'll see a lot of hard running here in these last 7 minutes and 40 seconds.
So now working along the far sideline. Here come the Bloodhounds. Tries to get that pass. Deflects off Bevino. Allison is there. Tried to get it. Here's Shavzadi, the goal scorer, off one leg. Just rifles that one. Takes an easy bounce for Horn.
Horn, the veteran goalkeeper, will hang on to this, adjust his straps. He's going to take up as much time as he possibly can.
So Horn will play the long hop. Set to drop kick it, so no real contest from the Bloodhounds, but he kicks it right to a Bloodhound. Wears it off the head, the ball dancing around the midfield circle. Coming away with it is the Mount. Giving chase is Alvarado. He's double-teamed. Alvarado bounces it off the head. The Bloodhounds come away with it, trying to keep it inbounds. They do, working it along the near sideline. Now here comes Brian. Brian rifles that one up the far sideline. It's Clemis. He's tied up with Allison. Bevavino able to come get it. Leaves that one towards the near sideline. Here's Wallace. Wallace for Tynan. I just kicked the table really hard.
It's going to happen. We have a folding table in the booth.
Here's Hughes.
Two very large fellas at a small table's never a good thing.
Hughes for Bevavino. Now it's Wallace along the near sideline. Here comes Brian just to check in on him. Leaves out along the near sideline. Alvarado opts to let it go. Tried to get it to Tynan. Out of play. Bloodhounds ball 6:27 and counting down. So, Bob, now we're at the point of the game where you just leave nothing out on the field in your pursuit of the equalizer.
Most certainly, and it seems to be John Jay is getting tired out here by how blanketed they are by the Knights' defense. And the Knights are doing a very good job at keeping attackers off of dangerous chances.
6:09 to play. A one-goal advantage. If you're the Mount, I mean, just play keep away, really. I mean, you can't, just don't shoot yourself in the foot this late in the contest. I mean, we've seen it before.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be tragic to give up a goal this late in the game, so I think the Mount are just trying to see this one through the best they can.
Tynan puts the moves on. Now midfield with a couple of steps. Tried to get that one ahead to Hillis. Left that one short, and so the Bloodhounds will be able to make something out of nothing here. As De Jesus sends it all the way back for the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper outside of the box. Can't use his hands. Sends that one back towards the far sideline. That'll be out of play. Untouched. So Ross 11, not the world's greatest kick. A pair of fresh legs come on for the Knights. Number 13, Alex Napoli, and number 28, Jack Hoffman. Hoffman and Napoli come on in relief of Maker and Alvarado. So two sets of fresh legs coming on for the Knights now down the stretch. 5.5 to play.
More freshman action to be had here. Obviously, Napoli started the game, I believe.
So the daycare still in full swing for the Mount. That one rifled out of play, much to somebody's discontent down on the sideline.
I believe we said we're up to 6 different freshman faces tonight for the Mount.
So far.
Impressive stuff.
Throwing now for the Mount. They're deep and they're attacking third, of course, looking for some insurance. Following the Welsh goal, the Knights' offense has been fairly quiet. And in a game where you can afford, they're up 2-1. You can afford to play some defense, but after the Welsh goal, not a whole lot of opportunities.
Certainly, I think John Jay has been pressing the issue just a tad bit more than the Knights, but also the Knights don't have to fully press it just because they are up a goal, so they can just play defense for these last few minutes.
And that's partly what I expect them to do, as we're well under the 5-minute mark by this point. Impressive sliding effort to no avail. The Knights able to at least maintain possession. Now this one's taken away. Here comes Herrera. Good stop on a dime. Good move ahead. Tried to get it to someone. That one taken away by Tynan. Sends it, leaves it. It's Shavzadi. Shavzadi, that pass, good. Falling is Bevavino. That one didn't get into any sort of harm's way. That one's rifled well out of play out behind the end line. It'll be a goalie kick for Horn. 4:15 and counting down. And Horn to free kick it. He appears to be in no real hurry. There's a whistle. The clock is stopped. Or the referee called for a stoppage, grabbing his wrist.
Just calling for a stoppage to keep the game rolling so that the tender and defender combo will not eat up so much time on the goal kick.
Yeah, so there's some commiserating. And, of course, I mean, the referee had to step in because, I mean, obviously if you're Horn and Bevavino, the entire plan is just to ensure the Bloodhounds don't get the ball back at all. Wallace sends that one up along the near sideline. It's Hoffman. Hoffman was open, just lost a step, sending his defender to the ground, and we have a whistle.
Seemed like a clean body there, but ref saw malicious intent, so they're going to give the ball back to John Jay. Going to be an exciting 3:30 in the remainder of this game.
Yeah, Bob, as you just said, about 3.5 minutes to play. Your score, of course, still 2-1. Sending it away is Russ 11 towards midfield to see if people right in front of this tent. The Bloodhounds maintain possession, but they're on their own side of the field. Send it towards the night side of midfield. Now here's Bryant. Bryant puts a move on, guarded tightly by Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, nice job there, picking his pocket. Working along the near sideline, has that one kicked away. Out of play, it'll be Knights' ball.
The Knights going to take as much time as they can on every single throw in here, every free kick they get. Going to try and shepherd in a W here for the boys at home.
This is, I mean, there's 3 minutes flat now and counting down. I mean, the Knights up 1. This is the equivalent. You know, you can't drop the cake before putting the frosting on it. This is the last thing you need to do. You just got to hold on for 2:45 and counting down. It'll be a throw-in for John Jay. And, of course, now both teams just in complete go mode. Here's Hoffman making a play on the ball. He falls. And now, I mean, I can't expect there'll be anything left on the field from either side. And here's Shavzadi with a step. That pass picked off by Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli thought about sending it downfield, thinks otherwise. Now it's Hughes.
Great play from Mazzarelli to eat up more time there. Reset it from the back.
Hughes with lots of real estate takes advantage of his situation, gets it to Keyser. Keyser working it up along the far sideline, trying to get it to Hillis. That pass just ahead of the intended target, and the Bloodhounds will be able to take it away. That one's sent straight up. There's a struggle for the ball. Hillis able to come down with it. And Bloodhound gets a foot on it, tried to get it to Klamis. Klamis, good job corralling it. And if this were American football, this would be a 2-minute warning, but that's not what it is, so we have 2 minutes to play and counting down.
Going to be an exciting 2 here. Mount are definitely trying their darned hardest to keep a W, and John Jay are going to be emptying the gas tank.
Crunch time on both sides of the ball. Beautiful pass from Tynan up ahead. It's Keyser, does a good job staying on side, corrals it. Face guarded by Bloodhound in front, able to work his way around. Keyser leaves it for Hillis. Hillis has trouble with it. Hillis can't get a shot off. That one ends up out of play towards the far sideline. There's a Bloodhound down and shaken up in the goalie box.
Great chance there for the Mount, just
on
can't get it right.
But he is up and moving. So a minute 23 and counting down. And Bob, as you've alluded to several times over the series of our broadcasts, I mean, there is no extra time. So, I mean, the time it takes to go get the ball and throw it in and all that stuff, I mean, there's no added time at the end.
It's going to be a minute to win it.
And there's the referee. Gives somebody a card.
Whoa. Probably for...
It appears to be a Bloodhound just based off the reactions.
I believe it was. Most likely for words to the referee. Referees can card that.
That's, of course, my guess. No physical altercations on the field. Of course, the ball being slated to be thrown in. So, I mean, I'm sure...
Perhaps mentions of a mother were made.
The hot mic on the field. Somebody is telling somebody to shut up. Probably wisely so. I mean, the third wild card, goodness gracious, the third yellow card of the half. I have October baseball on the brain, Bob.
Yes, you do, and October baseball is going to be a blast. But we are 50 seconds away from a Knights W. I'm fired up, Lucas.
Knock on wood, Bob. Stranger things have happened. We're knocking on the table, which is plastic, not wood, but here's Mazzarelli. It's the thought behind the sentiment that counts. Mazzarelli, good job just sending that one into no man's land. 35 seconds and counting down. Ross 11 picks it up. His teammates screaming at him just to get the ball away. That one's blasted. It'll be high just beyond the Knights side of midfield. So the Bloodhounds have the ball right where they want it. 19 seconds to play. If they want to make something happen, they're going to need to make it happen fast. Mazzarelli low-line drive. Good job in front just to keep it out of play. 12 seconds. You have to get it towards the middle. Does so. A whole mess of people in front. There's Horn able to corral it. He drops the free kick. It's loose in front. Ooh. Impressive diving effort there from Bevavino to keep it out of the net. And, Bob, that's how tonight's contest ends.
Wow, an exciting one. Some words being had. I believe, or something of the sort. I don't know. But there we go. A win is a win, Lucas.
And so
we'll take it.
Sam Bevavino opens the scoring and then ends the game. The sliding effort leaves no doubt. And Bob, the Knights are winners tonight. 2-1 final.
All 3 points coming from Newburgh. A phenomenal performance from the boys back home. You love to see them secure it.
So the Knights back in the win column. That's their first win since August 30th when they made the trip up to SUNY Canton. So the Knights' first win in a little over 2 weeks. And, Bob, it feels just as good as I remember it. 2-1 in your final tonight. Any closing comments?
No closing comments. Good luck this weekend heading on out to Old Westbury. Go Knights. It's a Skyline Conference game, so that's always important. But other than that, safe travels home, John Jay, and everyone, thank you so much for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Knights are winners. Stay tuned to the MSMC Athletics Instagram for post-game interviews. Your final tonight, Mount St. Mary 2, John Jay 1. As always, I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me in the broadcast booth, my good friend Bob Houck. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next Wednesday night.
See you guys around.